up, y'all? It's your boy M-phamis, being called me M-phamis. Welcome back. Alright, for on my review list for Christmas movies and Christmas related stuff, I'm gonna review the Santa Clauses. Not the movie, I did that last year, the one with Tim Allen. I already did that already, but since they came out with a series like this like 2 years ago, I thought it would be a good time for me to review that, because I wanted to review that last year, but I didn't really have the time. So like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on Gmail. The links to everything is down below. Season 1 starts out with Scott and Noel. Noel's his little best friend that is an elf from North Pole. And pretty much Scott's been at this for almost 30 years. It's been 29 years. There's this new head elf. Her name's Betty. Betty and Noel are kind of married. They've been married for over over hundreds of years. Scott and Noel were talking and they were talking about hey, wait a minute. Why is the list so short? What's going on here? While Scott and Noel were still delivering presents, we also got introduced to this guy named Simon and his daughter Grace. Simon used to be this big tech guy, that does a lot of gaming stuff, and now he's trying to move into e-commerce, trying to be the next Jeff Bezos. He was going over stuff with his team, the statistics of why their delivery system's not working well. Eventually Scott and Noel showed up and delivered the presents. After that, Noel and Scott kind of went to this house. This house was a very special house because it was one of the houses that Scott went to when he became Santa Claus in the first movie. He went inside and pretty much was whoa, kind of surprised by someone was still awake, and it turns out it was that same little girl from the first movie, but now she's grown up and she's telling I stopped believing Santa Claus a long time ago, and Scott kind of showed her this gift that she used to give when she was a kid, and she realized that really was Santa Claus. Scott tried to leave, but his magic is not working, so he pretty much had to leave her out the front door. After they left, what was it? Noel noticed that Scott's starting to become a little gloomy, and a little agitated, and he just wanted to get this over with. And eventually the reindeer started flying off, going off crazy. They went to the next house, and Scott tried enter down the chimney again, but that was not really working well, and he ended up falling on the roof. Noel's starting to panic, and back in North Pole, everyone's starting to panic. And eventually, Buddy Claus from the third movie, he's now a teenager now, and also he's starting to wake up and try to tell his mom that something bad is going on with Scott. But Carol's shrugged it off until one of the elves brought her into the main control room. Everyone in the North Pole was freaking out because the sleigh came back, but Santa didn't. But it turns out the whole thing was just a prank, just to psych everyone out for a second. Betty told Scott that they kind of really need to talk in private, and pretty much Betty pointed out the fact that there's another clause, that there's a successes clause. It states that if the Santa Claus don't want to become Santa Claus anymore, they would need to find a replacement to take over. Oh, I forgot to mention that Cal has a second kid, her name is Sandra. Noel and Betty had a little secret talk, and their talk was about some sort of magic word that Bernard kind of left her, and pretty much told her it measures Christmas spirit. When it goes bright, things are going good. When it's starting to dim down, Christmas spirit is low, and things are starting to go bad. Scott went to the elf doctor and pretty much told him everything that's happening, and it turns out he's losing weight, and he's trying to get back in shape. Instead of Eye of the Tiger, it's kind of Eye of the Santa. We got a little training montage. Scott came up with an idea to ask Charlie if he wanted to take over to Santa, because okay, by the way, Charlie is his first son from the first 3 movies. He went to go see Charlie. Charlie is married now, and he's doing the whole psychology thing Neil, and he has 2 kids, and pretty much Scott's telling him everything that's happening, how he's planning on retiring, and he wants Charlie to take over. Charlie said he was a little shocked, but Charlie said no, because he don't think that the North Pole is a good place for raising children. And the wife honestly doesn't know about the whole stop being Santa Claus thing. She doesn't even know about that. Alright, trying to speed this up. Simon and Grace were summoned to the North Pole, and again, Simon kind of got the kid and he took over as Santa, and Scott and the rest of the family now went back to Chicago and the suburbs. The kids were liking the real world, and knowing that Cal kind of got a girlfriend. Eventually the elves started disappearing, and also we got introduced to this Christmas witch named Wokefunda. Simon kind of lost the coat, and he didn't officially become Santa, and pretty much Simon was using Christmas magic to help him become more successful with business, and he was neglecting Grace a little bit. Now left the North Pole in order to get Scott back. Bernard showed up and pretty much told Scott that the whole Santa falling off the roof thing, that wasn't an accident. That whole thing was planned this whole time. And it turns out the kids have magical powers this whole time. They made it back to the North Pole, and they managed to defeat Simon. Scott put on the coat and pretty much became Santa again. Scott and his family did the rounds, delivering presents together as a family. And that was the end of season 1. Season 2 is a doozy. It turns out Betty, Noel, and the rest of the elves were hiding a little secret from Scott. Once upon a time, in like the 13th century, there was this dude named Magnus Antus who was a previous Santa Claus that was evil and bad. He wanted to like turn like the rest of the world's children into nutcrackers because like the whole world was greedy at the time and was like really bad. The elves teamed up with Whoopafunda. Whoopafunda used to be like a legendary figure like Sandman, Mother Nature, Father Time, and Santa. Whoopafunda managed to like imprison him inside a nutcracker, and he's been like stuck there for over 700 years. In present day time, the nutcracker is in some sort of museum owned by this dude named Chris. Chris pretty much like runs like a Santa Claus theme park, and like again like it's like not really doing that great that much, and pretty much like he got this snow globe that showed like every like Christmas memories. Everyone has been getting them around the world. After Scott and his family like did all the rounds and like delivered all the snow globes around the world, they managed to make it back to North Pole and they celebrate like normal. And knowing that today is like Cal's 18th birthday, and before he like blew the candle out, he made a wish. And he pretty much wished for his girlfriend, Riley, to like be there. And she was like, whoa, what the heck? How did I get here? Scott put two and two together and realized that like Cal did not really dust her, because the dusting kind of like makes her forget like the whole thing happened. Cal was like real uptight about the whole situation because like Cal like, you know, being like in love and stuff. And like Carol was trying to like, tell him, hey, he just turned 18. And knowing that this is his first kiss and all this stuff. Like, come on. Scott decides to, like, not dust her, but he kind of, like, has, like, some sort of gaslight team that, like, on standby. And pretty much, Scott is a little worried about, like, Cal being the next Santa Claus because, well, being a Santa requires a lot of focus. And he's not that kind of guy to focus. You know, back at Noel and Betty's house, Betty was talking about, like, how, like Cal being the next Santa Claus is not going to be a good idea because it would be just as worse. Noel found out that like Betty was supposed to go to Cribble Crabble, pretty much like when a head elf like is like the head elf and all that stuff. They have to like go into the outside world and experience what, you know, regular people do, I guess. Betty doesn't really want to go, but eventually like once like the elf security showed up and pretty much told Betty that she had to go to Cribble Crabble. She did try to like get out of it, but that didn't work. Betty went to Scott and pretty much like told her about like it's her time to go to Cribble Crabble, but there's a little exception as long as like the Santa gave the exception. Betty told Scott that she would have to like put like Noel in charge to like be the head elf. And like Betty was like, wait a minute, he'll do whatever you want him to do. And like Scott was like, exactly. Betty had to go to Cribble Crabble, and after like Betty left, like Noel started freaking out and panicking a little bit because again, like he's not like the type of guy who's to like keep his cool like very well. He was talking about like Magnus Antus with his other elf, I forgot her name, and pretty much they were talking about like how bad things were gonna go. You know that Scott kind of like heard like the whole thing about Magnus Antus, and he's starting to get a little suspicious. Noel decided that hey, we need to find like every single like trace of Magnus Antus and get rid of like the evidence. Alright, trying to speed things up. The nutcracker that Magnus Antus was being imprisoned in, like he managed to escape, and also we got introduced to his like little sidekick Olga. Scott's been like trying to like train like Cal, but he's like not. But Cal's like really like a little distracted because of Riley. Carol has taken over the ELF. Pretty much she's a cop now, and pretty much she was looking for the missing nutcracker. And you know that Cupid showed up and pretty much told him, hey, another legendary figure is kind of like really like is on board with the whole like Calvin Santa thing, but if he's not Santa in 3 months, like we're getting into this whole thing. Santa's powers are getting stronger and stronger every single time. She's been going to Whoopafunda for help, and it turns out Santa's a witch and she kind of has like mystical magical powers now. You know that she's been like training with Whoopafunda. Carl's going through a dilemma with like he loves like being with Riley and he wants to like be in the real world, but he wants to like live up to his expectation of him like being the next Santa. He went to go see Riley, but eventually they like get broke up. Eventually Magnus Antus got like his hands on some like Santa magic, and now he's like is coming for revenge and to finish what he started. Eventually Betty came back from Cribble Crabble, but she kind of came a little early. Pretty much explained the whole situation to Scott and what really happened back then. Everyone in the North Pole are gearing up for a fight. In the end, they managed to defeat Magnus Antus. The elves are like friends with the gnomes. Scott decided that hey, Cal, if you're ready to become Santa Claus, I'll wait until you're ready. Cal and Riley kind of got back together. Betty and Noel went on a little honeymoon. Magnus Antus became like a little rock star, and season 2 was over. Okay, man, that really did like a lot of like, bro. The Easter eggs are caught in the first season, bro. Like they really like. I mean, honestly though, thank God that Tim Allen and the rest I would say some of you. Well, I guess the only one of the original characters that was on that movie was, I guess, like, the actor who played, like, Charlie. I mean, I'm glad that, like, they brought him down. I'm glad that they were in the mix in the first place, though. And at least they add a little more to, like, the Santa Claus lore, at least. Also, like, they did mention, like, clear up, like, the plot hole of at least like, the second Santa Claus movie, the one where Carol was in that one. At least they kind of explained, like, did Santa Claus, like, have a wife? I'm just saying, Santa Claus actually all stopped through. Like, did he have a wife? I mean, at least they bothered to at least acknowledge that part, because I mean, I didn't thought about it when I was, like, watching it, like, the first time. But again, I mean, it does, like, I mean, just saying, like, the series kind of does, like, readdress, like, some of the plot holes from the original movie a little bit. One other Easter egg that I kind of, like, caught on, like, in the first season, they did kind of, like, brought up, like, the whole Jack Frost thing, like, how, like, Scott brought up the fact that, like, he kind of handed the North Pole to, like, some frosty guy, which was like a reference to like the third movie, like the plot would happen. Pretty much where like Scott like wished that he wasn't Santa Claus in the first place, and like Jack Frost kind of like took over the North Pole. Oh, in the last episode, and another Easter egg I kind of like caught in there. Well, at least for season one other Easter egg I kind of caught in there. Well, I mean, they did like the flashback with Charlie. I mean, that was a good flashback as well. And not only that, like the whole flashback with the little girl, like in the first episode. That was like a really good, like, I'm just saying, like, bro, that was a good callback to like the first movie, honestly. But going back to like the Easter egg I also caught in the first season. I mean, I did caught the fact that they kind of like brought back like the wooden toy soldiers that the evil Santa from the second movie kind of like brought into the whole mix. Bro, I was really psyched when they brought like Bernard back. Well, I mean, I forgot the actor's name. The actor actually like showed up in Addams Family Value, as in like the movie with Christina Ricci and Angelica Houston, and you know, like the second Addams Family movie back in the 90s. He was like what was it, the dude with the glasses? Yeah, that was his character though. But I'm glad that they brought like him like on board for like season 1 honestly, man. Because at least they acknowledged like what exactly happened to Bernard. Because in the third movie, like Curtis was in charge for some reason, and I was like wondering like what the heck happened to Bernard. But at least, well, I'm glad that they kind of like cleared that up though. At least they cleared up like what exactly happened. Again, like this series kind of like fixed some of the plot holes from like the last couple movies. Well, specifically like the third one and the second one, kind of. At least they kind of cleared that up, really. Also, I got a little confused here because if Scott's supposed to be, I mean. Here's the thing, given the fact that St. Nicholas was actually a real person, I mean, and he was in the universe, that means all the other Santa Claus that came after him, I mean, they weren't human, so what exactly are the Santas anyway? I mean, maybe, I don't know, man, like, I guess it's like another plot hole kind of mystery, that hopefully, like, if we get like a season 3, hopefully we do, at least they'll better explain like exactly how the universe works, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, the series kind of does like catch some, like, the charm. And I guess like the joy kind of feels like rewatching when I went last year when I like tried to like rewatch like all the Santa Claus movies. It kind of like I don't know, give me that same feeling of like rewatching the whole thing again. I mean, you guys know what I'm getting at. Like the series is hitting like emotional chords that was hitting like in the movies in my opinion though. I mean the comedy can be like a little hit or miss, but I mean I enjoy it overall though. Okay, honestly I do like Betty and Noel's relationship. It's so cute and so adorable. And all that, Betty is a badass, man. Like dang. Like she was really like she really was throwing them hands in season 2, man. Like she really was a badass though. No, he was a lucky man.
From the mountains to the coast, the spirit of Christmas is alive in every.
Sorry I've been like this talking to you guys, but your boy gotta like keep going with the Christmas content. Anywho, hey, if you guys are probably wondering who's like singing in the background, that would be my boy Gunter Lima. Gunter Lima is like this YouTuber who like writes songs and pretty much put them on YouTube and TikTok. I highly recommend that you guys check him out though. Yo, like I'm telling you, like his stuff is good though. And this song is called Christmas Season. So check him out, man. I'm telling you guys, he is really good. Alright, y'all, the boy gotta go. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on Twitter. Links to everything is down below. And guys, really check out my boy, man. Like, his stuff is good.
It's Christmas time.